Good morning and welcome to YAP.
Good morning. Let's do it.
Today I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the leading man of the FPL for just 1 week and 1 week only, Connor Ritchie.
Hey, you got to be in it to win it. Like they say, someone didn't get around to putting his team in last week,
Hey man, like I said, I like a disadvantage.
despite
I love a remontada.
you're in the peloton.
Yeah.
You're in the slipstream.
How you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm good.
From the gym, straight from the gym?
Straight from the gym.
Damn.
A little tired. Slept in. I didn't have a very good sleep. I was doom scrolling this morning in bed.
Yeah.
I sent Connor Ransley a meme.
Yeah.
And he sent me a photo from the gym.
Nah.
He called me out, right? I was there. In
Yeah.
like 20 minutes, I was there. I was like, no, I can't.
Damn.
I can't let him get away with that.
I was planning to come this morning, but I slept in, so
That's tough.
yeah.
Hey, we'll get him on the next one.
Yeah.
Can't
And
win
now
them all.
Connor is not even mad at me anymore. Like he used to like throw full on tantrums of me like not showing up. Now he's just like this whole sad thing of like being disappointed. He's like, it's okay, man. Some people just don't have it in them. And I'm like, oh man,
That's
that hurts. That hurts
That's
even more.
worse.
That hurts
My
even more.
my fiance, like some mornings, this doesn't actually happen recently because
Yeah.
she's been getting up real early. But I'll be like, oh, I'm tired. Like, you like moan to me, like, I can't be bothered going to the
Yeah.
gym. And then she'll be like, oh, it's okay, baby. Just sleep in. And like something clicks in my head when I hear that, and I'm
Yeah.
like, nah. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
No,
Just go
and especially-
straight.
especially-
I'll never get out of bed faster than when I hear that.
Yeah. Especially in that tone. You could say anything to me. If you want the opposite to happen, just say, what do you want me to
Yeah.
do?
And she's just being nice.
Yeah.
But I take that
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah,
mentally.
I took
My
that personally.
body's just like,
Yeah.
nah, you're being.
Not today.
You hear it out loud and you're like,
Yeah.
nah.
This can't be reality.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it, man. The newsletter. Your attention, please. Still the best. Subscribe now.
It's so good. It's getting better every day.
Yeah, especially Sophie's a weapon, man.
Mm.
Her writing is crazy. It's like reading like a blog on like blogger.com back in the day,
Never
like
did it.
in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump right into it. Today we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I did not
Cheerleaders.
know that they're the most expensive sports franchise in the world.
Yeah.
I thought like surely a football club would have more money than them, or would be valued at a higher
Is that true?
price. Yeah, they're $10 billion.
It's because everything's
Like, how much is Real Madrid?
everything's even more commercial
Yeah.
in the States. But I mean, like when your cheerleaders themselves are bigger than most of the biggest
Yeah.
teams in the world, probably.
Yeah, like Real Madrid, they're valued at 6.6 billion.
What are
Dallas
the Cow- what
Cowboys
the
are
Cowboys?
10 billion.
Oh my god! What's United? Surely
Crazy.
United's gotta be close.
Oh yeah,
United's more than Real Madrid.
yeah. English tax.
Be in pounds though. You're gonna have to do some like currency conversion. Anyway,
Which is
while you look that up, sports teams
Oh no, $6.55 billion.
6.5.
Yeah.
United
Yeah, they're the Real Madrid is more valuable.
soon to be more when we win the treble
Yeah.
this
Crazy.
year.
Well, United.
And next year.
United.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoking something, bro. What they put in your pre-workout today, man?
Project Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah, man. I hear it.
Hey,
Xerxes.
they were gonna sack Arteta in his first season
Yeah.
in Arsenal, and he didn't want anything, but he's turned it around.
But then, yeah.
It's Arsenal.
Yeah.
But Arsenal is like the new Tottenham. It's
Yeah.
Arsenal. I'm sure they love that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Yeah. So
Huge brand.
I did not know that. Like I had no
yeah.
clue that cheerleading. I mean, I was aware that cheerleading was a big thing in the States, but I didn't know it was that like integral
Mm,
to like the biggest sports franchise in the world.
mm.
So basically, these girls, these women, it's 36 of them. The 36 girls make a
That's a
cheerleading
lot.
team.
Yeah.
So it's like what three football teams, and they're basically a new Netflix documentary came out,
Mm.
kind of breaking down like the behind the scenes of how they're treated and all that. So basically, it sucks, but they get paid like $15 to $20 an hour, which
Mm.
is pretty shit in comparison to what the sports franchise is valued at,
Yeah.
and especially because they're such an integral part of the
They're
Of
like
the brand.
they're the star players.
brand, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it's just it showed like a behind the scenes take on how they're being treated by like the director and the choreographer there,
Mm,
and they are nitpicked like down to the T, like in almost like a disgusting manner, like
yeah. All the
and
things that you would unfortunately expect
yeah,
in a big cheerleading
yeah.
organization, which is sad.
But I think that's just like that's kind of the culture around like the whole beauty pageant
Mm,
area of
yeah.
life. They're like being nitpicked like cattle. It's kind of depressing actually. Um,
Pageants are crazy over there. I
right?
think, yeah, the it's interesting. I haven't looked into the documentary, but obviously, like the Dallas Cowboys have been a part of creating that
Yeah,
documentary. Um, I'm so cynical. I'm like, some marketing person has gone out and created this. They're obviously trying to increase the brand value of the organization,
yeah,
but at the same time exposing themselves. And I think maybe it's like an authenticity play.
mm,
Um, I haven't really looked into it, but I think there's some very real points here, and it's such a blown up, exaggerated example of brand ambassadors, right?
yeah,
Because they are the ambassadors
yeah,
for the franchise, and kind of the ethical responsibility brands have to play for their brand ambassadors,
yeah,
which is really interesting.
yeah. Especially with like obviously again I know nothing about American football, but the Dallas Cowboys is like their brand image is that they are like super prestigious and everything, like they're
Mm,
super classy and all that, and then
mm,
it it doesn't take more than a Netflix documentary to show that like these girls are being ripped to shreds about like their smiles, their hair, their ethnicity, their weight,
yeah,
and especially with the weight part, they're tailored. Their clothes are made to tailor, like they're
mm,
tailored to their measurements, and they can never get them resized. So like it could be a girl that's on the team for like 4 or 5 years, and she'd have to fit in the same size pants, which is insane to think about, bro.
I did
I've
not
never
know
been the
that.
same
It's
size for more than 1 year.
no
That's crazy.
a balloon.
Yeah,
I gotta. What about winter? You gotta come on.
yeah,
You gotta get some insulation over winter. Oh,
yeah.
they're in Texas. They're fine.
Yeah.
They don't even. Do they
You
even
guys,
have winter over there? You go over
no,
there and it's like fucking
it's
25
just
degrees.
dry. It's all dry. Um, but yeah, especially like, and with that whole like super toxic environment, obviously it creates an environment of like these girls, especially when they're like doing the tryouts and stuff,
Mm,
they're having to slip into having eating disorders. They're having to slip into having like insane long-term health issues,
mm,
be it both physical and mental. So it's kind of insane that like you could be part of the team, struggle with like let's say an eating disorder in your first year, come back and be expected to fit like the same size pants and just like keep it
yeah, it's
rock and rolling.
crazy. Yeah, I wonder what will happen to the organization in terms of its value as a result of the doco.
Yeah.
Like Netflix documentaries have been building sports,
Yes.
like F1 is obviously the super
Yeah.
well known example of that. Um, Obviously, they're getting some criticism, which means it's not always going to be smooth sailing, but I feel like it'll probably normalize, and that level of authenticity that they've been able to shown
Yeah.
and just the exposure that those issues are getting will mean that it's much more likely to be solved. I'm sure that, well, I hope that they start to get paid better.
Yeah.
Obviously, there'll be. I hope there's also some stuff in place to help them
Yeah.
from a mental perspective as well. Body standards are changing too,
Yeah.
and perhaps that'll become part of it.
But I mean, yeah, they are changing, but like certainly not in these industries, like the cheerleading, the
It's
beauty
much
pageants,
slower.
the Miss Universes.
Yeah.
Like they've been conventionally the same for the last like
Well,
50
in
100
some
years.
areas, it's tougher. Like
Yeah.
my favorite meme at the moment is like, have you seen the Spider Man? I tried to find this morning because my mate was like, I was talking about, I referenced it to a mate, and then I was
Which
trying
one?
to find it for him. But it's like Peter Parker in the very first Spider Man film,
Yeah.
in his physique when he like first gets injected or first gets bit by the
Yeah.
spider, and he looks in the mirror and he's like, damn, I'm kind of jacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like comparing that physique against like the most mid casual bodybuilder on Instagram now. It's like literal superhero in 2004
Yeah.
versus like mid kid who goes to the gym like a few times a week on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that is, and even the other one's the Hugh Jackman,
Yes.
and then comparing Hugh Jackman and Wolverine 1, where he was like, man, I worked my ass off for that movie.
Yeah.
And then you like look at it and then compare to him now, and it's like, dude, what has happened?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you look
Scary.
at if he was in a movie now with his Wolverine 1 physique, and sorry to make this about male physiques, but
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
similar
same
things
applies.
happen to female physiques as well. But like people would roast him
Yeah, for sure.
for like dude, what's happening? Like
Yeah.
you aren't cutting for the
You're not
movie.
locked in. You're not locked in,
But,
bro.
but he worked his ass off.
Yeah.
And like anyone would.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of normal physique.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just like I feel like the more we go down the line, the more the standard is just it's been the same.
Mm.
I feel like it has to change with the times.
Everyone's gonna be jacked in
Yeah,
2050.
right? Like-
Everyone in 2050, everyone's like
I feel like Connor's gonna be the first guy. Just like fucking, I fear that man if he like takes. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, no, I think also like one more thing about the Dallas Cowboys and stuff. It also applies to other workplaces. Is the whole toxic mindset of like, oh, you're even lucky to be here, kind of thing, and so that allows the organization to treat the employee like shit. Be like, oh, like, sure, we're not paying you, we're not paying more than $20 an hour, but we are having you be the face of the most prestigious, most valuable sports franchise of the world. And I feel like that has to change because that does not put dinner on the table.
Yeah, employees, there's a lot of mental, emotional stuff. Like, there's nothing worse than employees getting kind of like guilt tripped or whatever into like staying like, oh no, you're lucky to be here type stuff. Like, employees don't owe companies anything.
Yep.
It's a transaction.
Yep.
It's interesting though, because it's one part, it's like, well, employers and big brands especially can be super unethical with the way they like deal with employees.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you don't need to stay somewhere. Like, so there's so many friends that have been like stuck in situations that's like, if you're unhappy at your job, don't like throw out the toys.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because there's another business. And you gotta go somewhere else and you want XYZ, you gotta prove your worth. Unfortunately for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, that's not quite as easy as it sounds, because they're at the peak of their field, and that's why it's fucked. They're at the peak of their field. They're generating heaps of value for the brand, and obviously the mechanisms aren't backing them up. And some bigwig Dallas Cowboys dude is eating his T-bone steak for dinner every night, and the trimmings, and taking advantage of them.
It's shocking because like a lot of these girls have like, obviously, because like I'm assuming that's minimum wage in America, but like that's not sustainable to be like a living human, especially in the States. Like the cost
they get paid less than fast food workers.
I think it's super similar to fast food workers, but a lot of them have other jobs. Like a lot of them are nurses. Like imagine being a nurse and a part-time cheerleader.
It doesn't look like a hobby though. Like to be that, you have to train. I guess it's like your sport, but
But you're like an athlete, pretty much.
Yeah. Like I like the. I don't know if I'm going to butcher this quote, but it was like borderline militant baddies. In Sophie's article, I was like, that is a phrase. Borderline.
Framed it up.
Put it up on screen. Yeah, put it in the river.
Oh man.
But no, she's totally right. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. From one side of the spectrum to the other side, we're switching over to talking about comfort creators. Now, this has been it's like almost like a swinging tide, I feel like, with how social media over the last couple of years used to be so toxic. Like it used to be, I mean, it still is to a degree, but it's comparison galore pretty much. Like you go and it's like, you open your phone, you see this person that reminds you of every imperfection you have, and it's like, damn, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And so now it's called comfort creators. They're on the rise, and basically they're anti like hustle culture. They're anti I don't know what the word is, but like
I don't know.
I guess anti perfectionism.
I guess they're anti those things perhaps in their existence, but they're not necessarily like going out and saying stuff against those organizations. It's merely that the way that they're positioned themselves in the market, it's not that deep, but let's just say it's that deep. The way they position themselves in the market is against all that stuff. What they're really doing, in my opinion, is they've identified a problem for audience and users, and they're solving that problem, whether they're knowing it or not. It's really, really interesting. And I think that the canary in the coal mine with any of these culture shifts is always memes.
Yep.
So people have been making memes about how shitty social media makes them feel for years.
Yep.
now there's social media accounts that have figured out how to help people feel better through whether it's Sam Sulik
Yeah.
or I mean, there's so many channels, whether it's long form YouTube or even short form social. I get those like reels now where it's like Stoic philosophy or something, and it
Yeah.
starts as like one of those like brain rot videos, and
Yeah.
then cuts, and it's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Is it time to take a break?
For me,
Take a
that's-
deep breath. And it's like, oh,
that's half my For You page. It'll be like a girl that's about to do like a crazy dance move, and then it cuts to like David Goggins. Just
crazy
like,
dance move.
bro, lock in. Yeah, I'll give it at that. But like, it's literally like 0.1 second, and it just cuts. I think Ollie sent me one. Let me try and pull it up.
Dale's been watching those crazy dance move videos.
Crazy dance moves. Just
No,
watching the
but
cheerleaders.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I really love. There's this one guy, Igor. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name, but he's Ukrainian. And he's quite jacked. But he does these videos, and he's obviously a pond or or like fresh spring somewhere near his house.
Yeah.
And he sits in the fresh spring, and he's like, "Hello, English people.
Yeah.
I am a simple man.
Yeah.
Make what you can of your life. You have to live a good life.
Yeah.
Don't rest on your laurels," or like
Yeah.
broken English. And he puts those like piano behind
Yeah.
him, and every single time this guy comes up my For You page, I just get a rush of endorphins. I love this man.
Yeah.
People are donating to him on PayPal.
Yeah.
It's so wholesome. And he's got like an eye condition. He's obviously like poor as hell. He's in Ukraine showing his lifestyle, but he's happy. He's living a good life. He's like focusing on himself. And it's like that is inspirational, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, I think that's like a really, really special type of creators, especially like the one you just mentioned. Is that, especially with social media, our realities become skewed and think that what we're watching is reality, but really it's not. That's just like the 1% of the 1%. And people like the people that you mentioned, people like the creators that go like, oh, you have it okay, you have it nice, you have it okay. It's just a good reminder for people to be like, okay, no, I actually have it better than so many people.
Yeah.
It's such a good reminder because again, like if we're living on this world becomes like normal for us, and then we open the phone and everything's better than us or better. Yeah, better than what we're in.
Yeah, and brands can totally tap into this. Brands don't need to feel like they can't take advantage of this. Whether you're a big brand or a small brand, ultimately, what's happening is people are whether they're planning or not, is they're solving a consumer problem. Like I said before, and ultimately, that's kind of what our job is as marketers. Is through products we help make people's lives better. That's what it's supposed to be. Most of the time, it's what cheap tactic can we use to get engagement, which is sad, but it's kind of like a race to the bottom on these algorithms. But people are now figuring out you don't need necessarily, most of these videos still have a good hook, whether it's disruptive because it's not what you expect, like it's just a dude sitting in a lake smiling at the camera,
or a girl making a crazy dance move.
Well, that's the tactic, right? It's the bait and switch. Most of them still have a good hook, and that's why they're showing them in our feeds. But like, it doesn't need to be fast cuts. It doesn't need to be, I don't know the brain science of it. It's probably still an injection of dopamine, but it doesn't need to be like full ADHD brain rot stuff. You can actually slow it down, talk to your audience, and teach them something of value. I mean, that's most of these wholesome creators are teaching something of value, not how to make XYZ, how to do Y, but how to chill the fuck out. Like how to relax.
And I think
be present.
I think that especially, it's been on the rise now more than ever. I want to say, I don't know if this is like, correct me if I'm wrong, but this might be due to the fact that brain rot content is now more prevalent than ever. Is that, okay, people are consuming this so much that like they're tired of this. They want to go to the other side of things. And it's almost like a equal and opposite reaction.
For sure. It's super interesting. I do love getting this stuff in my feed though.
No, it's
really good.
It's different. I'll show you the one Ollie sent me. He sent it to me like fucking 3 months ago. He was like, "Is this the content you consume?" Let me see.
Is it the? Oh my god, those cuts are. Oh my god, Jocko Willink and David Goggins.
And it just keeps going for the next like 2 minutes.
I mean, those are good. Like that video has a very clear target audience,
Yeah.
and it speaks very well to that target audience, and it's shareable, right?
Yeah.
Like people are gonna see that, share it to their mates. Ultimately, that's what's gonna help get it out there.
Yeah.
But they teach people stuff. The thing with the whole mental health. So we were talking about gyms before. I love this. There's this guy Sam Harris. He's got some like pretty political views as well. But I do love his meditation app called Waking Up. And there's this one of the early kind of mini lectures he does on the app. It's like 2 minutes long. He's talking about right now everyone's going to the gym, and he thinks that meditation or meditation equivalents, there's lots of things that you can do for building your brain as a muscle is going to be the thing in 50 years because your brain is ultimately what controls your experience. So like everyone's real keen on like going to the gym, but he's like in 50 years like that'll be the thing because there's another trend that's building underneath that. It's not just about physical health, which is grown so quickly because it's highly visible in culture and everything as well, but mental health and like mental clarity and fortitude. And I was like, that's actually so true. And this stuff is kind of like the light version of a lot of that. Yeah. Like being present is like such a key.
And you could argue that the mental side of things would be more visible just on a like longer stretch of time. Yeah. Like in 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
We'll have to see like who took care of their mental the best. You'll see on their faces
listen
too.
to David Goggins.
Yeah. I've listened to David Goggins for the last 25 years.
Jocko Willink and David Goggins are terrifying humans. You wouldn't even need to put any audio of it. You just put their faces on a screen.
You hear them.
I'm deleting the app and going straight to the gym.
With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the YAP podcast. Make sure you subscribe, watch the YAP podcast, search it up everywhere you go. Subscribe to the newsletter. Thanks so much. Yeah. See ya tomorrow. Bye.